it's already time to leave the cozy cabin and go back home. We done our chores here at the cabin. If you are going to visit Yellowstone National Park or the greater Yellowstone area, you might be actually not going to the park. You might just come here for fishing, or you might come in the winter time for snowmobiling. But in any event, if you come here, and especially if you have an EV, you need to book the cozy cabin. Cozy cabin is nicely located on over half an acre, you know, nicely treated, so you got some privacy. There's enough parking here. And maybe you notice this, yes, if you come with your EV, there are 2 EV chargers right here, kind of hidden on the trees here, and you can see on top that is the Tesla wall connector, and on the bottom we have a J1772 right there. And both those chargers can go at the same time at 40 amps. So if it's not just you, but also your friends with an EV, hey, both of you can charge here. Obviously, you can use an adapter on either one of them. If you have 2 of the cars with J1772, you put an adapter on the Tesla with the NACS there, or the other way around, you put an adapter on the J1772 if you have 2 NACS vehicles. But this is the place to be if you want to go visit Yellowstone National Park. But for us, it's time to go back home. We got a few things here in the truck bed. I mean, it's so super nice having the Cybertruck with this tonneau cover. I mean, it couldn't be any easier. Holy moly, just press the button, everything is put away. I mean, it's really cool, so we really like that. There we go, all closed up. So we charged to 100% here, and it took us a little longer than normal. I hope you watched our travel to here, then you know why. But in any event, we are at 100%. We preconditioned the cabin, so I turned air conditioning on, put it on keep, so we got about 69 degrees in there. We just have to unplug now and basically drive home. It's roughly 300 miles. Not sure which way we're going. We can drive through NACS, which is a little bit shorter. Well, it's about 45 minutes to an hour shorter. There are no chargers anywhere between here and Butte going that way. Or we could go up towards West Yellowstone and then to Bozeman. Tons of chargers, West Yellowstone, Big Sky, Bozeman, Belgrade, Butte. I mean, we got plenty of options there, but it takes longer. So we haven't made up our mind yet. It depends a little bit. Once we get going, we got to make up our mind. We got about 10 minutes, and then there will be the turnoff to NACS. By that time, we need to know what we're doing. So don't forget the cozy cabin. If you're coming to Yellowstone National Park, there's a link down below in the description. Well, now let's get going. We are en route now, still in Island Park. And as you can see here, we got self-driving enabled. We're going through NACS. We made up our mind. We should actually get to Butte with 45%. That is pretty big. Not sure if that is really the case. It's overall pretty easy drive. It's nice weather, it's warm out. It shows 79 degrees, so it will do pretty good and be pretty efficient here. So yeah, let's see if we can make it with 45% to Butte. And then in Butte, actually this is Grizzly Trail, that is actually Rocker. That is the 250 kilowatt charger. There is also a version 2 150 kilowatt charger. And I don't know, since we're gonna be, if we are gonna be at 45%, we're probably not even using more than 150. The Cybertruck is a pretty slow charger. So at 45%, maybe we'll go to the other charger because there's a coffee shop and a restaurant there, which is a little better than at the truck stop that has the version 3 Supercharger. in Butte and Old Glory is flying up there. It's pretty darn windy out here. So we just got here and we are here at 49%. We just plugged in this very second. It hasn't even charged yet. So 49%, we done way better. FSD was driving. My wife actually was sitting in the driver's seat, so there was no hurry at all, but it did wonderful all the way to here, parked here at the Supercharger, and we can plug in. That is pretty amazing. Now we decided to change and come to this Supercharger here, which is only a version 2, 150 kilowatts, instead of the one on Grizzly Trail, which is about 3 or 4 miles on the interstate. That is a 250 kilowatt. Why? Simple reason. At 50% we cannot take advantage of 250 kilowatts, but here we can take advantage of Perkins over that way, or the coffee shop down there somewhere. Where is it? Over that way. Okay, so, and as you can see, 147 kilowatts, so 148. So we might max out this charger here, but like going to the other one, we may have gotten, I don't know, it dropped to 147 already, so we may be able to get a little over 150, but not very much, and only for a couple minutes anyway. The Cybertruck is a slow charger, so at 50% it's not going very fast. So the other charging stop, maybe we would have been 2 minutes faster, but then we wouldn't have this restaurant here at the coffee shop, or there's actually a Mexican place over here too. So way better options here than out at the truck stop. So we come here. One other point I wanted to make, it did precondition for supercharging, and it is important that you navigate to the correct charger you're going to, because it actually preconditions specifically for the charger you're going to. So in this case we got a version 2 that maxes out at 150, with the other one it would be a version 3 that maxes out at 250, and then there's the version 4 we could do 320, right? So, and the Teslas will precondition according to the charger you're going to, according to the state of charge, according to all the input it has from the battery, right? So if you are actually navigating to the other charger and you're at a low state of charge, like 10-20%, and it will precondition for 250 kilowatts, but then you're coming here to a 150 kilowatt charger, that doesn't work out so well. So you probably would waste some energy, because it would usually heat it up a little higher, probably for super fast charging. So that's a reason Teslas don't have this button that other cars have, where you can press precondition, because preconditioning is not just one thing. Preconditioning totally depends on your vehicle, on the battery your vehicle it has, and what charger you're going to, and what actually will be the maximum charge that the vehicle will accept. So, and we don't know that, only the vehicle knows. So Tesla doesn't have a preconditioning button for that reason, while others do, because most others actually cool the battery pack down, because their battery packs are sometimes not that great and they just heat up a lot during fast charging. While Tesla does it a little bit different, so you can get way faster charging out of this. So anyway, now we're still about, what, 145 right there. 25 minutes remaining to continue trip. It will go pretty high in this case, because it's planning to get us all the way home, I'm sure, bypassing the Missoula. There's 2 chargers in Missoula, bypassing both of those. Now anyway, let's look at the stats here real quick. We drove 148.7 miles. We used 57.7 kilowatt hours at 387.7 watt hours per mile. So that is great. Yeah, and actually it took us 2 hours and 35 minutes to drive this. This was not interstate, this was just highways. Speed limits 65, 70, 75-ish, usually around that. Through towns, maybe a little slower at times. So we done great, especially with the temperatures. Temperatures came up to about 79 degrees, and currently we are at 73 degrees here. Oh, it's already down to 20 minutes and we're already up to 58%. So I better get out because I'm pretty sure my wife would like to go have lunch because we haven't eaten lunch yet and it's almost 3. So she probably wants to go to Perkins. And I would hate to get out here and have to move the Cybertruck away from the Charger because it's at 100% before we're done. But it is likely. But then anyway, from here we would be in a full shot to home, no problem. Without charging, probably even get home with 20% or so if we leave here at 100. So we'll see. Well, I better get going. It's dropping already to 126. Just like I said, we could not take advantage of a version 3 at 250 kilowatts supercharger at all. So we're just totally fine coming here and enjoying a restaurant, coffee shop, or maybe the Mexican place over here. So, well, I'll let you know before we leave here where we're at, and so yeah, I'll see you soon. I got this at 3:14 and now it is 3:26. The truck's been ready to go for 12 minutes and we just made it back and we had to hurry, and we are already at 95%. So people that tell me they have to wait for charging, I don't know. I have to disagree. So we are at 95%. We are unplugged, and 2 hours 10 minutes, and we should be home with 27%. 149 miles it says there, so that sounds about right. This here is our trip, going a little further west here in Montana, just a bit past Missoula. We made it home and it got nasty on the way. Now it's raining. I thought it wouldn't be raining till tomorrow, but I guess it's here. Anyway, we got home. It says the battery is low. What a lie. We got 15% left, which means we could even make it back to the supercharger at the Y and charge there. But we don't need that. Obviously, we got chargers here. So 15%, I think we were supposed to come in like 10% higher or something, if I remember right. But again, we had the profile set to chill when we started driving at the supercharger. But then we went up to Mad Max, so it would go about 82, 83 on the interstate. Yes, in the state of Montana, the speed limit is 80 miles an hour. So at about 82, you're going with the traffic. There's quite a few that are still faster. So yeah, so we had to set it to Mad Max. Obviously, that takes a little extra. And then this weather came in. I don't know that this was really planned because the forecast, like I said, mentioned it tomorrow. And Tesla takes the weather into account when it plans the route, but sometimes the weather changes within minutes and it comes out of nowhere, and not even the forecast sometimes is right. And obviously then the initial estimate is wrong. So anyway, we're here. We made it all on full self-driving. So it was super cool. Like I said, my wife was sitting in the driver's seat. And I was the passenger for a change. It was a little different, but it was kind of cool. So anyway, yeah, here with 15%, let's look at this here. We can look at the current drive or the last since charge. It's the same thing. So we got 151.5 miles and used 90.5 kilowatt hours. We drove for 2 hours and 9 minutes. and we averaged 597.2 watt-hours per mile. Quite a bit higher than before going to Butte. Now you might be wondering why so much higher. Well, going to Butte, we were on basically state highways, lower speed limit. And that is key. Whenever you're traveling, you're at 60 miles an hour, it feels like you're generating power and you're filling your battery because you got so many miles to go, so much range. Now you're going 75, it's a bit less. But then if you're going 80 to 85 in that range, it's a lot less. You're using a lot more, and so that's why we're almost 600 watt-hours per mile. On top of that, this weather doesn't help. We had heavy rain at times, so it's got to push through the water. The temperature dropped. Yeah, if you look at this here, we are 50 degrees now. We used to be in the 70s. So again, that is another thing that didn't help with range, but still it was easy to make. And in the worst case, if it would be extremely bad, we could have stopped. There's 2 chargers in Missoula, so they're about 7 miles apart, so we could have the one is about 20 miles from here, the other one's about 27 miles from here, so we could have stopped if it would have been really necessary. But since we're coming home, I don't care. We can come home with 0%. Because we can charge here, and here it is cheap to charge. And usually we would have charged less at the charger in Butte, but since we were eating, well, it went up higher than we wanted to. If we would actually have left right on time when the truck was ready, said it would be ready to go, we will probably be here now with about, I don't know, 3, 4, 5% or so, something like that maybe. And well, which will be fine. No problem at all. So yeah, this was another 300 miles with the Cybertruck here in Montana. We got lots of travel videos, not just with the Cybertruck, also with the 2018 Tesla Model 3, with the 2013 Tesla Model S, with the Chevy Bolt EUV, with the Rivian R1S, the 2024 Rivian R1S. So yeah, there's lots of travel videos, and all these travel videos include a lot of tips and tricks. So if you're kind of afraid, if you have range anxiety, go watch these travel videos. As things come up in the situations, I do give tips and tricks. I explain why I do what and why I skip a charger, or why I charge here longer, or why I do this, why I do that, and how you can get more range, and so on and so forth. So go watch those videos. And well, since you're watching those videos, make sure give all those videos a thumbs up, please, because we want to push the YouTube algorithm a little bit so that it shows these videos to other people as well, so other people can find those videos and figure out how easy it is to travel with an electric vehicle. Also, make sure you are subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. We got lots more coming, and by the way, we got more than just travel videos. There is a whole bunch of other stuff, so go check that out. There are a bunch of links down below in the description for places where we get accessories from for our EVs, so go check that out as well. And if you remember at the beginning, we were at the Cozy Cabin. There's a link down below in the description for the Cozy Cabin. So if you're going to Yellowstone National Park, especially if you're going with your EV, you have to stay at the Cozy Cabin. 2 EV chargers, charging is free. I mean, couldn't be any simpler than that. And close by, there is the Tesla Supercharger in West Yellowstone, and if you would be driving a Rivian or a CCS car, just at the north entrance of Yellowstone National Park, also easy to reach from the Cozy Cabin, there is a Rivian charger. So, and Rivian's charging network is open to all now, so you can go there and charge your CCS car. Well, now we gotta unload, and it kind of sucks because it is raining. Luckily it's not pouring down too bad, but still I gotta get out of the truck. We gotta unload all our stuff and get up in the house, and it's only 5:44, so we got plenty of time to do this. And yeah, again, make sure to give us a thumbs up for this video. Please subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. In any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.